Ooh, that one was too good. Okay. Welcome to the comment section. Welcome to the comment section. All right. So they was talking about calling burning sage witchcraft again, which always annoys the hell out of me because it's always especially I hate when y'all Christians be doing this shit because y'all get it from, I guess the Bible maybe says, I don't know if does it say burning sage is witchcraft like specifically, but y'all don't really be understanding what y'all talking about. Clearly you don't, because when you just say that's witchcraft, like what the fuck do you even mean by that's witchcraft? Like that's like saying you could be drinking a drink to get better, and then somebody's like that's witchcraft. Like, yeah, healing is witchcraft. Like, what is that? Is that what? Because the Bible describes a lot of things that you could do for healing as witchcraft. And so when y'all say shit like that, but you don't really, you're just kind of saying it because it says that in the Bible. You just, because you got a Bible, so I have to go do off of what it says. But you're really supposed to interpret this shit so that it makes sense for you in your life. Like if anything, a manual to life, that's what the fuck it should do. How does it make sense to your life? It's not about reading it like a fucking manual. So when you're saying that it's witchcraft, and now the guy's talking about, he said he can see spirits and he can so what the fuck does that have to do with burning sage? Like, yeah, I mean, I get the concept of entities being attached to you and things of that nature. Like, yeah, that is definitely true. And if you can see them, that's I don't necessarily disagree. If you say it, then I believe you. But the point is that you still don't call that witchcraft because, but then he said some real slick shit. He quoted some Bible stuff and he was like, I forget, I have to go, I'm just gonna post it. All right, you can see that shit. Like, he basically saying that some stuff like, sin in heaven and you can't get into heaven because you got sin. And then my brain started working, and the way my brain works is like what I said, interpret it. You want to interpret things, right? So you can't get into heaven without sin. And he's saying we're all getting sick. And we're all getting sick, and the sickness is really just the sin. And I'm looking at it from a standpoint of, well, sickness in this case would be processed foods, and so the real witches, and if that's what you're trying to be mad, because they give you that concept of being mad at witches, that's what I don't like, because the witches are never the ones that are trying to hurt anybody. Like, they're the ones that are trying to heal, but they call them witches. They demonize these people because they're giving you the real, they're giving you the truth, and everybody giving you the truth is going to get demonized. So you got to look to the people that are being demonized for the truth, because those are the people that are going to give you the truth. If they ain't got no, you get it. But okay, so in this case, the people bringing you the processed foods are the witches, if you want to, as far as if we're looking at it like they're bad people. But I don't like that narrative because I don't look at them like they're bad people. So I don't want to fucking go with that, but I still have to speak in your language, and your language is witches, so that's why I would use that language. But I don't look at witches like bad people. I look at bad people like bad people. Like, either you want to bring good energy or you want to bring bad energy, and I don't necessarily think it's bad energy. It's just energy that combats with yours. It's not necessarily bad, it's just combating, and that's not a bad thing, actually. Like, I like to fight. You want to fight with somebody because that makes you stronger, and they're not bad because they're fighting you. They're just giving you opposition, and they're making you stronger. So it doesn't necessarily mean that they're actually bad. It just means that they're put here to go against you, and now maybe you feel like it's bad, but maybe it's just some other shit going on that you don't understand. Because most people believe in what they're doing. Like, well, most people, not everybody. Some people just be doing stupid shit. But the point is when we're pointing like that's what, like, this is why it makes me mad, because I already know that sage kills airborne illnesses, right? And so when you just say that that's witchcraft, it's like, are you trying to say that the person with the sage is the one casting the spells, because that's what it sounds like you're actually saying. But in reality, the person with the sage is trying to get rid of the fucking entities, or the bad energy in the air, or the fucking sin, or whatever you want to call it, that's trying to hurt you. That's what the sage is for. It's to get rid of that shit. It's not to bring it to you. It's not casting a spell on you. It's to get rid of airborne illnesses in the air. Now, indigenous people can call them spirits or entities or whatever. The science community calls them airborne illnesses or bacteria, something that is attaching itself to you and hurting you. Now, everybody can call it their own. Every area is going to call it something different, and because they call it something different, it's going to fuck with you. But you have to be able to interpret what the fuck is being said. Like with indigenous people, is just, they might say spirits or some shit, and now you're like, oh, they're talking that spirit stuff, or they're talking that weird whatever. But the science community is still talking about something that you can't see, that is attaching itself to you, that is harming you. And regardless of what you want to call it, it's happening. And some of these entities can clearly tap into the space of controlling your body. And then we already have parasites and worms, and we know that this is a concept that happens for real. They put it in scary movies and shit like that, but it's a real thing. And but my thing is shut the fuck up about sage and calling it witchcraft. It's not fucking witchcraft. It is more of a fucking tool that you would use to get rid of airborne illnesses or things in the air that now, because when you say it like that, you're saying that they're trying to, you're implying that they are trying to hurt you or something, when they're trying to help you, you fucking fool. And that's what is annoying about that. Like, y'all be going, you going to the and where would they get that from to put that in the Bible? That's where my head's going. Like, why would you try to do that to scare people away? And it's because they don't want you to understand the concept of that. Because indigenous people are the ones that were doing that, and they're like, oh, that's witchcraft. Oh, that's where they got it, because they know that we know how to find other things. So they demonized our way of getting things away from us. That's all they did, is they demonized it, and then they made it so black people are afraid of it. Some black people, like the ones that are tapped in, they not afraid. They know that why would you not use the plants that the earth sent here? Like, that is the dumbest shit that you could ever act like, oh, we're not going to use these plants that and then you say you believe in God. Like, what, do you not understand that God would be the ones that put this stuff down here for us to be using? And so why would you act like God is putting this here to... And it's clearly all because y'all don't... It's like you didn't even... Like, there's certain things, like, this is one of those things where it makes it easy to be like, oh, okay, that's clearly, like, you're clearly tripping, because we know that what sage does. Like, it has properties, it has benefits. They can use, it has medicinal, we know it's a medicinal thing. So for y'all to even say that, like, that should make you question a whole lot of shit. Like, what else are they misguiding me on? Because that's such an easy one for you to be able to get past, and you not past it just because the Bible said this, and you just running with it, and you not even doing no kind of due diligence of research. You just running with what the Bible said, knowing it's a man-made thing, knowing it's a man-written fucking Bible, knowing that it's probably gonna be trying to push you away from who you are, because the only thing that would really do is push you, like, oh, that's witchcraft, well, I better not do that. And then you see people that are into their natural healing stuff, and they're doing things that would probably look like witchcraft, because they're combining different things, like natural things from the earth, you know, and only witches make witches brew and all this shit, and now you're all, and they're talking to spirit. Like, that's why witches are demonized, because they are indigenous people as well, and shamans and whatever. These people are demonized because they understand too much and they know what the fuck y'all be doing. So it's the best thing you can do is demonize them so y'all will stay away from them and be uncomfortable around them. That's why they make movies and make these the people you should be afraid of, even though in the movie everybody's going to these people for fucking wisdom and fucking shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, how the fuck they always, you don't notice that too? They still going to this motherfucker, and the witch is always on some bullshit. Not on some bullshit, but like way off in the, away from everybody. Don't want to be in the area, might be alone. And it's funny because I identify with these types of people. That's how I am. I be off in my own shit, away from motherfucking people, doing what the fuck I'm doing, and on my natural shit. That's why they call it supernatural, but they wanted to demonize the word supernatural, and now people are scared of it, but you're really scared of yourself, and they taught you to be scared of yourself, but the way you should have been interpreting, like with this Christianity, like them saying you can't, when you sin, you can't get into heaven, and if sin is sickness, then sin is these processed foods that are making you sick. So you're letting in the sin, and it's making you so you can't get to heaven, which is oh my God, which is the great, feeling good is heaven. That's why I can walk around here fucking feeling good. Like, you can't keep me from fucking feeling good. That's my heaven. So I'm walking in heaven all the fuck, every fucking day. I'm already in heaven because I feel good physically. And that's heaven. Just being able to walk around feeling good is fucking heaven. That's why I'm always trying to talk to y'all about eating the right food so you can walk around in heaven too, because you'll be more ready to fight. You'll be more ready to do what you got to do, and because you can move. Like, that's what real heaven is just not being in fucking pain. Like, being able to have your right state of mind, have that energy fucking flowing through you. That's fucking heaven. When you can feel the fucking energy, and you can feel these fucking trees, and you can feel that sun when it pops up, and you like, oh, that's my neighbor, my people right there. You see, I can feel it on the side of my veins. I can feel it. And it feels different. It's not the same when you're open and you can actually feel that shit. That's heaven. You don't know what the fuck heaven is, and I get it. You know, but you don't remember. But I'm reminding you, this is what these people are here, the people like me, we here to remind you what the fuck really heaven is. And that's heaven, is opening up those things inside of you, getting that energy flowing through you. Because it ain't nothing like being able to turn off your thoughts and feeling energy and love just flow. And you can smile for no reason, because you shouldn't need no reason to smile. You shouldn't need no money to smile. Bitch, that's power. Being able to, you don't really, like, that's real power. I know that it's real power, because if you felt it, and it's like a damn drug. The fact that I can do that makes me be okay all the time, even after, yes, I get mad. Yes, I think about different things that I wish I whatever, but I'm not going to get into that, because they want you to get into that. So now you have that frequency of whatever it is that you should feel bad for. And people always want you to feel bad, and they always want to look at you and judge you based off of what you should feel bad for. And they want to sit in, and then they sit in that frequency. With your stupid ass. How you gonna try to judge somebody for whatever? Because when you judge them, you start thinking about how they should feel, and now you feel how you think they should feel. Now you got the steak face. That is fucked up. I never thought about that, but that's why judging people is bad, because you're only hurting yourself. And when you think people are stupid, they think you're fucking stupid. So stop thinking people are stupid and start trying to understand where they're coming from. The only reason that I got to a better place, this is so dope right now, I'm about to drop it on you. I stopped And I like, because I know they're not stupid. I know you're not stupid. You're Christians, you're not fucking stupid, but I got issues with y'all because of the common sense that I feel like you're ignoring within the shit with the Bible. But I still had to stop and try to understand what he was saying by his words, because it's like, I know you're not stupid, but you're still, if you're really following this shit, what are you really following? Like, let me really, or all I can do is read the same words and interpret them the way I interpret them, because we're all on a different frequency and we're all seeing shit a different way. We all respond to what we're seeing in a different way. So all I could do was reread the words that he wrote and try to understand them so that it made sense to me. And that's when I was like, oh shit. And that's when I started interpreting it to like that way. And that's the only reason why I got to that space, because I had never done it that, or thought that way. That was just like, that's just how I was feeling right then, based off of what he said, because I stopped to try to understand what he's saying, because that's what we're not doing. Because we're not stupid. We're just, the English language is just fucked up, where we're saying things. He wasn't wrong. Like, it's not that you're wrong. It's just that you're not understanding what you're actually even saying. You're just saying it like, look, it says, because if you're looking at it like that's witchcraft, then you clearly don't understand what's actually happening. Like, okay, if you want to call it witchcraft, burning sage, then clearly you don't understand that the sage is here to get rid of the bad energy in the air. So why would you be upset with that if you understood the concept of spirits and demons and stuff in the air? You should be like, yeah, get that sage and burn that shit, because it's not demons and spirits. It's, well, actually it is whatever you want to call it. Like, it's like, and that's the thing, is everybody calls it something different. In the science community, they're going to say bacteria, airborne illnesses. They're not going to say spirits or demons. They're going to say, but at the same time, something that attaches itself to you and it's fucking you up, it's hurting you, it's making you sick physically, like, that's it coming into contact with you, has you like, and now your insides are fucked up. That is you being attacked. And airborne illnesses, like, and they're creating this shit, and they're creating these motherfuckers. Like, you already was doing this shit, so that means that so what they'll do is they'll demonize somebody like me, or people, just like how they call witchcraft and witches and all that shit, and everything. Want to make sure you understand the concept of being afraid of these types of people, but they're the ones creating these diseases that are attaching themselves to people, attacking you. So they're working with the non-physical world in that way. So they're the real fucking witches from their standpoint. It's always the motherfucker pointing the finger. 5 of them pointing back at your ass. And that's what you're doing in the lab, not even realizing what you're doing. Like, I don't even think the doctors and scientists are evil. They're just doing what they do. But everybody's doing what they do, but they don't be understanding what they're really doing. And some of them do, but I don't think most of them actually do, because if we're all kind of cut off to who we are, we're just kind of running through the motions and doing shit, and we just kind of look at it like, we'll just say, well, this is killing people, these people are dying, but they don't really know what the other, it's a lot. We just, the suicide rate is this, but nobody understands and nobody tries to get to the bottom of that shit. But it's all just the different words that we use is what blocks each other from listening to each other. Because if motherfuckers say some shit like spirit or demon, atheist or somebody that don't fuck with that is just automatically cut off. I don't want to hear that dumb shit. What the fuck is you talking about, spirits and demons? But you watching movies about all this shit. And then some of you don't even watch that. Like, that shit is stupid. I don't watch that. I don't believe in that. But you still believe in depression. Like, to me, you can't believe in depression and then not believe in non-physical beings, because something's clearly fucking with you, attaching itself to you. Like, you don't feel that cloud coming over you. Like, I know you feel the fucking that was a great commercial back, because I'm not a depressed type of person, but I have felt that energy come to me, and I'm like, I can feel it and be like, fuck is that? Like, we not doing this. Like, what you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel that shit, so I won't let it. I know how to break myself from that shit, because I can feel it. Like, you know, it's almost like if a nigga was putting his hand, like, I feel depression like a nigga putting his hand on my shoulder, and it's like, nigga, why are you touching me? I don't like to be touched like that. It's not for long periods of time anyway. I don't really like to be touched like that. Don't just, you know. So now I'm basically thinking, like, why do you got your fucking hand on my shoulder? I'm thinking that if you're touching my shoulder, and not like this happens all the time, but it's like, just, this is just an example of, I'm aware that something is touching me and I know it's you. So that's why I can shake this depression off, because it's like, I know something's attaching itself to me, and I'm like, now I'm directing my attention to this and figuring out a way to get it up off me. And the best way to get it up off me would be for me to think of something different, or let that energy go in some other kind of way. Sometimes you just got to combat it with the opposite energy. Like, if it's a thought of something that makes me sad, then I'm going to think about something that makes me happy. Like, if it's somebody that's about to get hurt, I'm going to picture them giving me some money, or me giving them some money, or something like that. Like, I'm going to combat that shit with the opposite, because really it's you having to be in control of your shit. Like, you have to be in control, because there are entities that are attached themselves to you, and we have to get past not understanding how to interpret what people are saying. Interpret, like, use your fucking brain and stop just blocking people off to what they're saying, because your ego, when you're low vibrating, you can't hear. Like, you can't even. That's why you have to raise your vibrations and stop the judging, so you can hear what people are saying. Seek to understand what they're saying. That's what we have to do with each other. And because, well, you don't have to, but that's how you'll be understood. If you start trying to understand other people, they'll start trying to understand you. If you're not trying to understand nobody, they're not trying to understand you. And I know, because that energy you put off comes right back to you. And I feel that. Like, people that I don't fuck with, they don't fuck with me. Like, we don't fuck with each other, and that's okay. It's okay to, but we have to recognize what's happening. So if we want shit to change, then you have to, move a different way. But so that's the lecture for today, I guess. That's not what I was trying to do, but it's what I did.